Hello and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts. We're looking at some of the animation this game has, which is pretty great. And actually, while I'm here in the menu, this menu is nice enough to give us a pretty great look at Sora's walk cycle. So let's look at this for a minute here. Some of the things that I immediately notice. First thing I notice is that there is, with every step he takes, he leans really far from left to right. Like if you just draw a line from his pelvis up to the top of his head, like it's rocking back, his head's rocking back and forth almost like a metronome really far with each step, which is a pretty cartoony way to walk. And like I've talked about before, there's kind of a good bit of bounce to this walk. He's just lots of up and down with each step. He swings his arms way out to either side, and I also noticed that given how large his shoes are, he angles his feet outward so that they don't kind of collide with each other. I have a hunch that those shoes were a real headache sometimes with specific animations they needed to make. Like anytime you have a character with some weird proportions, like really short arms or large like hands or feet or something like that, it always creates some sort of challenge when you want them to do a specific thing that just physically they're not really built to do. Like, making him sit cross-legged, I think, might actually be impossible. It would be very challenging to get him into and out of that pose. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to try to figure out how to do that. So automatically, those character design choices create some limitations. Another thing I'm noticing is that there's a lot of secondary motion. I don't know if this is really the best term for it, but there's a lot of there's a lot of overlap and secondary motion on his clothing. Like, his clothing is actually quite loose and bounces with each step. Like, you look at the bottom of his little jacket vest there that flaps with every step he takes. The chain pendant he's got there on his neck swings back and forth with each step. The end of his belt there kind of flaps with each step. And the chain hanging at his side, that's also kind of jostling around with each step. And I believe even his sleeves a little bit. It's hard to see from this angle. I think his sleeves are even swaying a little bit slightly separately from his arms. And his hair is absolutely bouncing just a little bit with each step. So if you just kind of look at the tips of each of those little spiky points on his hair, there's a little bit of bounce. And that sort of stuff is great for making a character feel a little bit more loose and real and organic and less like just this plastic, hard character model, basically. It's really easy to make characters look all plasticky and solid and just really stiff in 3D, just because it is a virtual model that doesn't move unless you make it. I think even his pant legs are bouncing just a little bit with each step. It might be that that's just what his knees are doing, but it kind of looks like with each step there's a little I can't tell for sure, but I feel like it might be. But anyway, the thing is that to do this, they would have to add additional bones and additional rigging to this character. Oh, yeah, even from this angle, like you can see even the back of his hoodie there flaps with each step. In order to achieve that, they basically have to rig up all of his clothing in addition to the regular rig that would be his body just for moving around. And when I say rig, I'm largely speaking of kind of like his internal skeleton, all the joints that control the way the different parts of his body can bend and rotate and move. It looks a lot like, it's structured a lot like actually our actual skeleton is, with kind of a bone running down, like running from the hip to the knee, and then there's a joint there, and then from the knee down to the ankle, and there's a joint there, and then the foot and all that. Like, you need that rig inside the character model to dictate how the character bends and deforms. It's complicated, but in order to make his clothes move, like, you don't get that for free. To make them move separately, usually for like a PS2 game, the character's sleeves will probably move with the character's arms just all the time, and just very stiffly, like you wouldn't animate the sleeves separately from the rest of the arm. But yeah, you look really close at it. The sleeves are swaying slightly separately from the arms. That's really nice. It's a very subtle touch. I'm actually surprised they got that subtle with it, because so any place that you are spending those performance resources, essentially, is a choice. Because you could be spending those somewhere else. But since this is your main character who you're going to be looking at a lot, they've clearly put a lot into this one character. But it really helps because it makes his clothes feel looser and like stuff that he's wearing rather than the stuff that's just glued onto him. It gives a really nice effect.
Hey, Sora, you feel lucky today?
I could fight all of these Final Fantasy characters just for sparring matches, but I don't wanna. I'm bad enough at it anyway. I was supposed to be actually doing something. Right, I was supposed to be gathering logs and rope and cloth? I think cloth was the other thing. And one of them's up here. So let's get back to that. There's the rope. I should be better at this. This is actually my 4th attempt at recording Kingdom Hearts. So, like, the first time I recorded it was weeks and weeks ago, maybe a month. And I recorded it, and it was pretty good, but then I thought, you know what, I bet I can do a better job if I go and do it one more time. And I did, and I wasn't even really happy with that second take, so I was like, you know what, let me do this one more time. Give me one more chance, I think I can do this. I think it'll be even better. Like, I've got my thoughts a little bit more collected now, like, this'll be good, I'll do it one more time. I got actually to about this point, and then my PlayStation 3 straight up died on me. Like, actually died. It's dead. It's gone. And it took Kingdom Hearts with it. It kept the disc. I can't get the disc out. Not without breaking the thing apart, which I just can't bring myself to do. So, this is on a fresh PS3. And a fresh game of Kingdom Hearts. But boy, I'm getting this done, let me tell you. This is also why I may sound slightly more rehearsed in all the stuff I'm talking about, because I've done this a few times now. Aw, yay, high potion. Yeah, let's go home. So we're about to have a cutscene here. The eagle-eyed among you have probably already noticed that all of these main characters here who have, who you see up close and that they have acting scenes like this, they've actually all got 2 different face models that they will switch between as needed.
We'll never know by staying.
And there's actually, like, in this shot right here, you are actually seeing some characters with the low poly, the simpler face model, and some with a more complex one. So the simpler one is the one that you'll see during average gameplay, when you just have Sora running around. It's basically just a very simple head model, and on all the features on it, like the eyes and the eyebrows and the mouth, are actually 2D textures slapped onto that model. And there's a little bit of 2D animation on those textures, just so like he can blink, and so maybe he can open his mouth. Maybe they'll have animated, or they'll have drawn 1 or 2 other just broad expressions he can make that they'll just kind of flip between occasionally when they need to. And there may be like 1 or 2 frames of blinking, just so they can kind of have his like their character's eyes like half closed to closed all the way to half closed to open, just so they get a little bit of animation there. But it's very simple. It's very basic, and they can't actually move the features of the face around there. Like, they can't have characters' eyes looking in a specific direction. See, Riku's face right there. That is the 2D. That is the very, very basic low poly version of their face. But that sort of face is not expressive enough. They need to actually have control over more of the parts of the face. They need to be able to move the brows around and open the mouth and like make different mouth shapes for different sounds that they're trying to speak. And look around with their eyes and have little eye darts, because that's all the stuff that makes a character expressive and helps to communicate what they're thinking. But they can't have that high poly face all the time, because this is a PlayStation 2, and and having that much geometry, because on that high poly face, like, all of the details are modeled and rigged up to be able to be moved and animated and everything. And that's a lot of polygons and a lot of bones that you don't want to have eating up game resources all the time. So for most of the game, the characters will be running around with a simpler, just texture face. But when it gets time for a cutscene, or when you need a close-up on the character's face where they have to move or look around or talk or express, then they'll switch to the high poly face. Now, the other reason that they wouldn't have the high poly face all the time is because when you see the character face with that much detail and it's not fully animated, it would look even more stiff and weird, and it would look unanimated. It would look unfinished. For whatever reason, having the simpler 2D texture face that's not animating very much, that's just basically kind of blinking mostly, for whatever reason, I don't think it creates that subliminal expectation quite as much for there to be full movement and face acting and performance.
Good morning, Your Majesty. It's nice to see you this month. What?
So here we are with Disney characters now. And they're actually animated like Disney characters. Like, that's how Donald would run around. Like, he would do it in 2D, hand-drawn. And how cool would Kingdom Hearts be if it was actually all 2D, hand-drawn? Probably prohibitively impossible to make a game of this scale with this many characters animated beautifully in 2D. That'd be awesome, but no, probably impossible. But I am impressed, though, with how much effort has gone into animating these characters realistically. Like, look at that snorer there. Look at how much motion there is in his face and jowls, and how loose and organic they've actually made. This is all the mouth shapes he makes, and how kind of floppy all like his nose and his lips and his jaw and all that stuff are. That's how Goofy should look. But that's actually kind of hard to do in 3D. Like, especially in a game when it's something that's got to be rendered in real time with limited bones and controls. Like, wow.
Oh, good morning, ladies.
But yeah, I mean, like, these characters aren't moving around with the same appeal and animation fidelity that you would normally see them in, like in their 2D cartoons. Like, that'd be awesome, but they're not. But they're close enough. They look about right. Like, their character design is close enough. Their animation is just close enough. There's just enough of those little character traits in there. Like when Donald runs around all wacky and panicky trying to get to a place. It looks kind of right for Donald's character. Anyway, we're back here now. And I'm supposed to be gathering... seagull eggs. What sort of expedition would it be without a seagull egg? What am I supposed to be doing? I think I'm supposed to be gathering more stuff.
We are gonna do a little exploring today. You know, to the secret place at the base of that tree. There's
So
gotta be
secret.
something there, yeah?
We're gonna do some exploring today. You know, in the secret place we all know about. Aw. Yay. Nostalgia, memories, and a door that can't be opened. Alright. So I was talking earlier about the way that Sora's hair kind of bounces very subtly as he walks. Just kind of, you see they, just a little bit with each step. They just kind of, the ends of his hair just kind of bounce just a little bit. And that actually applies to all of his animations. Like when he's running around, bounces even more. Like, you just see it kind of bouncing just a little bit. When he jumps, you really see it. Like it blows up in the wind when he's falling. Let's see if let me jump off of a higher point here so you can actually see. Let me jump off of a higher point so you can actually see. Okay, here we go, jump. Yep, and it kind of blows upward in the wind. That's a really nice touch, and it helps to loosen up the character further. And it's even more important for Square-style Final Fantasy sort of anime-looking games, because especially on the PS2, anime hair looks very blocky and angular, and it would be very easy for hair like this to, I mean, it really does, but it would be very easy for it to just look like a weird spiky helmet on the character's head and not like hair at all. And it does. I mean, it does look kind of spiky helmety, but Square does this really nice thing with their characters' anime hair where they have it always blowing just very slightly in the wind. Just a little bit. I wonder if I can get close enough to where I can actually see it a little better. But, yeah. But yeah, you see just that little bit of sway and movement always happening with the hair there. Just enough to make it feel a little bit looser and softer and more flexible, like hair should feel. And you'll notice actually even in cutscenes, like when a character turns their head to look at somebody else or moves pretty quickly, you'll notice that drag and overlap on the ends of the hair And just like, you know, as like the physics of moving kind of result in the hair kind of dragging behind the rest of the head a little bit, and then kind of settling into place as the character stops moving. It's really nice. It's a handy way to have anime hair not look 100% ridiculous. I'm just running around now. I should actually go find what my objective is. What do I need? I think Kyrie's hanging out over here now. Let's see what I actually need. Kyrie. Where? Oop. Oh, right. The trick step on the bridge. I think she's over here. Yeah, there she is. Okay. Tell me what I need to get. Load it with food. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know where Riku is. Do we need food? I haven't seen Riku, but I guess I need to talk with that guy first. Let's find him. Up. 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 Come on. There we go. Difficult ledge. Hey, there's Riku. Let's see what that fellow wants. Our raft still needs a name. How about Highwind? It's alright. That's alright. What should we call it? What should we call this name? And how do we delete? Okay, there we go. What shall we call this? We'll take a page out of the Tetsuya Nomura character design book and call it the Zipper. That doesn't even sound like that bad of a raft name. It's pretty good. I like it. You know what, I actually like Tetsuya Nomura character design, absurd as it usually is. Alright, we're about to come on a short little scene here, and you know, I was talking about the character high-res and low-res versions of their faces for cutscenes? Well, see if you can spot.
If I win...
Riku's low-res, Sora's high-res.
And if you win...
I get to share the Palpu with Kyrie.
Both high-res.
Deal? The winner gets to
Riku's
share Palpu
high-res.
with Kyrie.
Sora's high-res. And you can tell, because like all that expressing he's doing there, all those expressions, like that can't be done with the low-res face. Low-res face is basically just a still texture. Alright, gotta beat him, gotta beat him. Oh no, oh no. Come on, I refuse to ride a raft named Highwind. Not when I could be riding a raft called Zipper. Come back. Come back here. Yep. Yeah, alright, now I gotta go back and not lose. No, crap. Okay, run this way. Plan B, alternate route. Oh no, it's the difficult ledge. Get over the ledge. Oh, crap. Come on, get over the ledge. Oh, boo. I hate this ledge. No. Oh, he's walking. Show off. That sucks. Alright, well. Smug. Okay, yeah, apparently they do have a half-closed eyes state. And he's using it to look like a smug jerk. Oh, and they do have a few frames of animation on the mouth, too, just a little bit. Like, they can't actually animate expressions on the mouth very much, but they've got just enough animation to signify this character is talking. He's going meh, 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 meh. Just enough, but not enough to make an expression like that. That's what the high-res face is for. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna come back next time. We're gonna play a little bit more Kingdom Hearts. I don't know how much more I'll play of this, but we'll do at least one more. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!